Hi, I'm Steve Krause, and if you are watching this video while I'm sitting in the same room with you, you're probably at our presentation. But if you're not, then you're probably watching this video that I posted on our website as a supplement to the conference presentation that my colleagues and I are giving at this year's 4Cs. Our talk is about Pray-Harrold and Exile, and we proposed this talk initially to talk about, to take the theme of the conference, contested spaces, very literally. Pray-Harrold is actually Pray-Harrold, and it's named after two people, a Carl Essick Pray and a Charles F. Harrold, who were both professors from the past. It was built originally in 1969, and it's the largest academic building on campus by far, and at one point in time I think it was one of the largest academic building campuses in the state. Well over 10,000 people would be in and out of the building every single day. It has offices for staff, faculty, graduate assistants, and such of well over 300 people. There are several departments besides English in the department. It's a large space. As part of a almost $200 million investment in the last few years in infrastructure at EMU, the state and EMU kicked in about $42 million to renovate this building. Once the project got going, once the project was authorized and got going, it became clear that the best way to do that would be to close the building entirely. So what that has meant that all of the courses, all of the classes, all of the staff, all the faculty, everybody has been relocated to different places on campus. In our case, the department offices have been located to a dorm, Hoyt Hall. Hoyt, the tower. This is part of a complex of 3 dorms. These other 2 are actually occupied with students. And then if you recall your college days, this probably looks kind of familiar in terms of dorm style living. And this is my office. Come on in. This was at one point a single. What we have here is a dresser kind of area. And then this is I like the other way around. Have a shared suite bathroom, which is a little bit weird to have your own bathroom right there. Apparently the showers don't actually work. And then this is, this is kind of like my home away from home. There's not much to see from this angle here, but as you can see over here, this has all been dug up on the outside. Most of the construction is, of course, on the inside of the building.
This is walking into the main doors at Pray-Harrold.
That's the writing center.
Used to be the writing center.
This is going to be this is the lounge area. It looks better, doesn't it?
It's the old 201.
Here, meaning in Hoyt, the dorm.
The dorm.
Well, it's been difficult. I mean, one, it's far away as you can get from Central Campus.
Well, where you should probably be interviewing me then is over in the lounge in Porter.
When do you go? Why do you say that?
Well, because that's been the good things about this move. The tough things about the move is how us being in this dorm over in the corner of campus is isolated from everybody, even our own department. So where we had to walk past all kinds of people from different areas of the English department, and you'd see many more people on a daily basis. Now we're sort of organized differently, and you see far fewer people. I sit right by the elevator. So with my door open, I see everybody who comes out.
Yeah, right over there.
And given that, I've seen very few people through the term, far fewer than I would have seen in our situation before.
Probably that's a big part, the students. The other part that's important that we don't have here is we don't see our colleagues much. So I see the people right around here, but if their door's closed, they may be here, but I don't see them. Whereas when we're in the other building, it was more typical to leave your door open.
Right.
Or you could easily see that the light's on. You could just knock at the door if you just, felt like you needed to talk to a particular colleague. And then since other colleagues are on different floors, we literally do not see them except for faculty meetings.
Well, I mean, I think physical space and conceptual space go together. And so when you're spread out around campus, as we have, teaching in almost every building on this large campus, it's hard sometimes to help students recognize, well, they're part of something larger.
Well, it's been difficult. I think it's difficult for students to know where the instructors are, trying to find them. I think a lot of conversations that would happen, accidentally as you were passing and you were close to other instructors, that was so much easier, obviously, when we were all together in Pray-Harrold. But I think because we recognized that that was going to be difficult, we tried to develop some strategies like teaching circles. A number of instructors have joined teaching circles, and that has been really a deliberate getting together to talk about, what's going on in our classroom.
Right.
And I think I can see those continuing, because as opposed to those conversations sometimes that just happen because you see each other, which is really great. I think that setting time aside for deliberate conversation and practice and improving as teachers and talking about ways to improve our student writing, I think those kinds of teaching circles will keep going because they're valued a lot by the people in our program. So
Cool.
The whole is greater than the sum of the parts.
Yeah.
This year, frankly, we've just been a collection of very competent, very professional parts.
One of the problems I've noticed this year is that the English department office, even though it has a come on in and welcome, it's essentially behind this closed door. This is just the mail room, but essentially behind this closed door. And there they are, people working away.
Contested spaces. Okay, is it rolling right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we are living the contested space right now. This is our temporary. Well, hold on, secretaries are out. Department of English. Okay, so we're living the contested space experience right now. This is a temporary location for, well, specifically the department office.
Temporary for you too, right?
Temporary for me too. I'm in two ways. I'm interim department head, so I've got an office next door, but I live in this office because it's just easier to deal with the clerical issues and secretarial and department issues. Got to walk around a hallway. In the old configuration, my office was right off.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so this I just set up right here at a little student desk, and
See, this is actually the department head's desk.
yeah. But all the faculty are upstairs. One of the things that we notice about this temporary configuration is not a whole lot of interaction, personal interaction among faculty and secretarial staff on a very, or in incidental ways.
Yeah.
People come down when they need to, we go up when we need to. There's not a whole lot of sort of, like I said, incidental interaction.
I just want to close real briefly with two brief thoughts from my own point of view. One is that my experience in not being in Pray-Harrold and being in Hoyt, it has been different because most of my teaching this year has been online. And what struck me with listening to some of these interviews, especially people lamenting that sort of incidental contact that you get when you're hanging around the office and people come by and students come by and what have you, and how we've lost that by being in Exile and Hoyt. What struck me about that is that that's sort of all the disadvantage of teaching online with none of the advantage. And I thought that was kind of interesting because it's not the same kind of experience that I've had in relationship with Pray-Harrold being closed. But I do agree with everybody that we'll be happy to get back to that space for sure. Anyway, that's my brief introduction, and I'm going to turn it over now to other people in the roundtable, and hopefully we'll have a discussion that hopefully it's useful for the people who show up to our presentation, and maybe I'll find a way to share it on YouTube too.